Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel, and in today's video we'll be learning how to draft a mermaid skirt with a flowing train using the arcing technique to achieve this. If this is what you would like to learn, kindly watch the video till the very end. Now let's get right into the tutorial. First, you need to draft your basic skirt, and to start with, I have gone ahead to mark out my horizontal lines. So I have my waistline, my waist to hip line, my waist to knee line. So all these points has been marked out on my pattern paper. So now I'll go ahead and start my drafting. Now on the hip line, I'll come down by 2 inches and mark that point both on the front and on the back pattern. This is just to help us when marking our hip measurement for smooth transitioning along the hip. Now that I've taken the measurements across, I'll go ahead and label my pattern, the center front and also the center back. Then we'll move to the waistline on the center front. In this case, I'm working with waist 30 divided by 4 is 7.5. So I'll go ahead and mark that on my waistline. Next, on my hip line, I take my hip measurement, both on the hip line and on the 2 inches below the hip line. I'll take the hip measurement, and in this case, I'm working with hip 40. So divided by 4 will give me 10. And then I go ahead and connect my hip line, my hip measurement to my waist measurement on the waistline. On my knee line, I'll minus 1.25 from my hip measurement. The hip I'm working with is 10. 10 minus 1.25 will give me 8.75. So that was what I marked on the knee line, and then I connect the knee back to the 2 inches below the hip line. Then I'll go ahead now to connect the 2 lines together with a straight ruler and also smoothing it out to avoid sharp edges, just like so. The same process will be repeated for the back. I will take the waist measurement on the waistline, the hip measurement on the hip line, and also the 2 inches line below the hip line. And then I go ahead and connect my waist to my hip with my ruler. For my center back, the zipper will be added when transferring my pattern to fabric. This means that no seam allowance and no zipper allowance on this pattern. On my knee line, I will also take minus 1.25 from my hip measurement, which is 8.75, and then I'll connect it like that back to the hip. And once that is connected, I'm also smoothing it out. Then for my back tightening, I went in by 0.5 at the center back, and then with a straight ruler, I'll connect my 0.5 on the waistline to the hip line. And then on my nail, I went in by 1 inch, and with a curved ruler, I'll connect it back to the 2 inches below the hip line, like so. The need for a curved ruler is just because if you use a straight ruler, you will still have some excess at that point. So just to take in all of the excesses there, that is why I'm using the curved ruler. And so I'm connecting it back to the nail line like so. Now we are done with our back tightening and the bum contouring. The next thing I'll do is to extend my skirts to a long skirt. What we just drafted now is a knee length skirt, so I'm extending it now. Now, the same measurement I used on the knee line, I will take it down to the hem of my skirt and I'll connect it with a straight ruler. I'll go ahead now and also do the same to the back pattern. Whatever I have on the knee line, I'll take it straight down to the hem of my skirt and I'll connect with a straight ruler. So I'm connecting all my points with a straight ruler and also taking my measurements and connecting them. Now I'm done connecting. The next thing is to separate the front pattern from the back. So that is what I will do next. If you have taken time to watch this tutorial to this point, kindly hit the subscribe button and subscribe to my channel, like this video, share with friends, and also turn on your notification bell. So now we are done cutting out both the front and the back pattern, and the first pattern we are working with is the front. Now I have my front pattern and this is the nail line. So I'll go ahead to label that the nail line. Now the next thing is I'll place my tape rule on the nail line for the front pattern, and then I will locate the middle of my line here like so. So I'll locate the middle of that line, and then whatever I have there, I'll take that same measurement on the hem of the skirt and connect with a straight ruler. So we just created the slash line for our mermaid skirt. Now I will cut through that line straight from the hem to the nail line. Once I get to the nail line, I'll cut through to the side of the skirt. That's the SB, the side front. Sorry, SF rather, the side front. So I'll cut through like so. Now I'll place my fresh pattern paper underneath the slash line like so, and then I'll tape it down. Please note that I'm taping down just the center front parts. Now I've been able to secure my front part of the slashed area. Now I'll go ahead and open up the sides to as wide as I want it to be. So for this pattern, I just want about 18 inches width for the opening, so the hem is not too wide. I've taped it down and I've shaped out the hem and I'm cutting through now. So feel free to open up your pattern to your desired width. So go ahead, blend it on the nail line and then cut through like so. And this is what I have after cutting. Now we move to the back pattern. For the back, I would also go ahead and locate the center of that line on the nail and mark the midpoint. I'll do the same at the hem and connect it with a straight ruler, just the same way we did for the front. So I've slashed through the line, but first we'll slash through the side back, and we'll work on the side first. So I'm slashing through that line, and then just the same way we open up the side front, we would open up the side back. So that means I would also bring in a fresh pattern paper and place it underneath the slashed area. I've placed the pattern paper, and the next thing I will do is I will take the exact measurement I have on my front, on the side front. The opening I have on the side front is about 10 inches wide. So I would use the same 10 inches and then I'll mark it like so and place the side back on it and tape it down. This means that the same opening I have from the center front to the side front is the same I have from the center back to the side back. They have exactly the same measurement. Now I'm done opening up the side back, and then at the center back, I came down about 2.5 inches. Now, this part depends on how you want your mermaid skirt to flow. You can come down as much as 10 inches, 6 inches, 8 inches, depending on how you want it to flow and sweep the flow. I'm done connecting the side to the center back, and then I'll cut through like so, and also cut through at the side. And with this, we are done shaping the side back. Now we will move to the arcing technique proper, which is applicable at the center back of our dress. What we just did is to shape the sides of our mermaid skirt. The arcing technique itself takes effect at the center back of our mermaid skirt. Now I'll need to add plain pattern paper at the center back of our skirt, and then I'll show us what next to do. This is what our back pattern looks like before adding up the paper at the center back. And this is what it looks like after adding the paper. So the first thing to do is take the measurement from the nail line down to the hem of the skirt. So what I have here is 24 inches. I'll go ahead and mark my 24 inches. And then from the nail line, I would also take 5 inches upward. From the nail line, I'll go up by 5 inches. And that is exactly where our shaping would start, from 5 inches above the nail line. Please note that I used my exact nail line in this draft. Now from my 5 inches line, I will take my exact 24 inches. That is the measurement from the nail line to the hem line. And then I will mark the 24 inches. And from the 24 inches line, I would extend my length. Now this extension depends on how long you want your train to be. It depends. For me, I use 10 inches in this case. You can use 15, you can use 20. Even for bridal, you can go as far as 30 inches. Like you can see from Vicky James' wedding dress, the train is super flowing. So use your desired length, like I said. And so I've gone ahead now to mark my 10 inches across my pattern paper, and then I'll connect with a straight line now and then cut it out. Now I'm cutting out this part, and so this is the length that I am working with for my train. Finally, at the hem of our train, we shape out from the center back of the train to the hem. We shape out our curve so that our train is going to have that curvy shape, like so. So I'm using my free hand to just get the shape that I want. And once that is done, I'll cut it out. I'm done with my shaping now, and I'm cutting out my curved shape, and I'll show you what it looks like once I'm done cutting. So here is what we have, and this is what the train looks like at the hem. Next, I transferred my pattern to fabric, and this is what it looks like. So if you had used a very longer length for your train, sure, you would definitely have that very long flowy effect, and the whole joining that you will have at the end of the day would just be at the center back. Thank you all for watching today's tutorial. Please subscribe to my channel, like this video, share with friends, and also turn on your notification bell. So I'll show you what the front also looks like. See you in my next video. Bye.